And a good day to you, Explore Nation. John Lynskey, your ambassador for Alumni Affairs, here with Season 7, Episode 6 of Looking Back with Lynskey. And oh boy, look around here. We've got a full house here today because this long-awaited, highly anticipated, very controversial, the Great Beach Bash debate. And no better people to have this debate than the guys sitting around me here. First, the King Solomon of this session, 30 years plus an explorer, educator, renowned English teacher, a fine dancer, by the way. But what gets overlooked is his tenure as the head of student activities. The one and only Mr. Keith Crossman, also my stunt double.
That's it. Thanks, John. Thanks for looking in the mirror again.
Happy to be here. It's exactly like that, brother.
Absolutely.
And then to my left, almost a quarter of a century.
Crazy.
As an explorer educator. He's done a little bit of everything and a lot of things, actually. But he is most renowned as the head of our national championship CCNN program. But back in the day, and that's where we're going, from the great class of 1998, Mr. Omar Delgado. Oh, hey, great to have you.
I appreciate being on the podcast again, and for that wonderful intro. You could have taken that many different ways, and you didn't. I appreciate it.
Yeah, we did not. And you're on this side of the camera today, which is
crazy.
Cool.
Yeah.
And then setting a podcast record today with his 4th appearance, also from the class of 1998. 12 years on the Columbus School Board, 5 as board chairman, the one and only Mr. Adrian Alfonso. Adrian, here we are, bro.
Here we are, John, again, right?
Once again.
Twice in a week.
And you know what? As I look around, there's not a hair on anybody's head.
Nope.
You know, this could be mistaken for a lot of things. But this is all about Beach Bash today.
Sir.
So here we go. All right, Mr. Crossman, you were the head of student activities. Take us back to 1998 and sort of set the stage for where this is going to go today, if you don't mind, because you are the voice of reason here today.
That's a bad position
Yeah,
for me.
it really is. The bar is low, Mr. Crossman.
So actually, if you don't mind, I'd like to go back a year or two. Let's put a little context on this.
Do whatever you want, bro.
So as your listeners may or may not know, I did student activity start about 95. It was my first year. That 95, 96 year, I had a guy named John Coriel.
Only the smartest guy ever to go to school.
Graduated from Harvard, went on. It was all downhill from there with my presidents.
I don't know what you're talking about. I think John Coriel's intelligence and mine are.
The reason I think about him is that we did try our first dance. At least I tried. I said, listen, we're in a school. We're in Miami. I love dancing. I'm like, how do we not have functional dances in this school? So halfway through the year, we finally said we're going to throw one for Valentine's. And so we came up with a name. This one I know I named because it's awful. It was called Valentine's Jam.
You came up with that name?
Yeah, don't ask me. I don't know where that came from. Jam 99s was on the air at the time.
Momentary lapse of reason.
Absolutely. If only that were the theme. But instead, let me give you the setting for this. The only thing I actually vividly remember, and probably the highlight of this entire dance, was the advertisement by Supreme Court Justice of the state of Florida, John Coriel, whose sole promotional was him eating out of a 30-pound vat of industrial-sized jam with one of those little plastic spoons from the cafeteria, staring into Mr. Canella's CCNN video.
In the closet.
Taking a taste and saying, that's some good jam. That was the entire promotion. We had about maybe 50 heads showed up for that one. I think the DJ showed up about 3 hours late.
Perfect.
Epic failure, but there's a side, bright line to this. Emmy Guerra was the vice president.
Yeah.
So you may know the Guerras of South Beach fame.
He's a madman.
A madman, but a great guy and a great choice for a running mate with John because he tapped into that culture, which I happen to have. I had people in the business that I knew. He had many people in the business. He was in the business. And so going forward, having a chat with him and seeing what he was doing and actually having a quick encounter with him at GrooveJet, it turned out that South Beach was where some of our kids were going. And I'm going to leave that at that to say we're going to run the next one like a South Beach, I want to get that South Beach feel. These kids are going to South Beach. They were promoting on South Beach, but they weren't coming to a Columbus dance. So let's just flash forward a year. So the next year we had Eddie Dominguez. Just ran into him today. Class of 97 president. the illustrious Dr. Juan Villa was on that board, just so you know.
Wow. It
97.
was career day here today, too.
Yes, it was career day.
I'm still hoping to find a career one day. But,
I was
hope
listening all day
dies last.
reminding what bad and poor life choices I've made
clearly.
at this point. I mean, the florist was actually a good option I overlooked. So Eddie reminded me of that, and then he reminded me of the sock hop. So what we did, our big first successful dance was we had a brand new gymnasium built. The gym was brand new.
When we flipped it, yeah.
Yeah, from the unair conditioned one we had before. And we moved it laterally, and we couldn't put our shoes on the floor, so we just took off our shoes and we said, we're going to have a sock hop, like old school. And we actually had, oh gosh, what was the DJ's name?
I'm going to correct you here.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Here we go.
No, not the
Here
post-football sock hop.
No,
That
the gym
you.
was not made until after we graduated. I graduated.
The new gym?
The new gym was done after we graduated.
Yeah, this new gym
This
was...
new gym was
All right, Eddie Dominguez, you made me look like a fool live here
Listen,
on this
you
podcast.
didn't need any help to do that.
Yeah,
okay?
all right. Okay, so here's some how these memories go. Let's get up to 98.
Yeah, let's just go to 98.
So we had tried, and I think the way it worked is we ended up having DJs that were a friend of a friend. They'd show up late, not show at all, have to get their buddy's truck to drive it last minute. We were just kind of doing it on the cheap. And so when these guys came along, I do think the first suggestion of this came from Omar. That we got to run this, we're going to make it. And knowing what I know of Omar, I know he was going to take this and run with it. But knowing what I know of Adrian, who stood up the first day of freshman homeroom when he wanted to run for class president, stood up and gave a speech for about 3 minutes about how he was president at St. Teresa.
Yep, St. Teresa.
And then immediately all the other kids sat down and said, never mind, we'll just let that guy
done.
win. So after 4 years of knowing this guy, I knew he knew how to delegate. So my quick answer is, if we had to get a quick answer, I'm saying there's some credit to be shared. One is we got the passion and heart over
100%.
here, and we got the brains behind it to my right.
Also,
So I'm just going to leave it
100%.
at that for now. And I want to hear what you guys
I would
remember, because I'm not
never-
remembering things
Okay,
right around
all
here.
right. Hold on. Sir, you spent 4 years in student activities. You were class president. You did everything one could do behind the scenes here.
Yep.
So you learned a lot in 4 years in SAC. And then, correct me if I'm wrong, for whatever reason, the winds of fate blew and you became friends with the esteemed Mr. Delgado here.
Best thing that ever happened to him.
Of course it is. Now,
Coming from the guy who named his son after me.
yes, there's that. Now, so here's first question. Did you ask him to join SAC or did he volunteer his services? Do you remember?
I don't remember because...
I'll tell you what happened.
You took over the president for senior year because I went to SAC.
I was senior
Ricky
class
Pellegrin
president.
was
would
vice
became-
president.
And Ricky's one of my best friends, and he was your vice president.
Yeah.
So you're like, I need another maniac to be on this board.
So that was Omar.
So I was like,
So
Rick,
you
I'll do it.
clearly qualify as a maniac.
Yeah,
okay.
that was great.
All right. So according to Mr. Crossman, the seed had been planted from the South Beach scene. Okay.
We're all ready to
do
step
you
it up.
agree with that?
I do.
Okay.
So
Go ahead.
prior to Beach Bash, I want to talk about one other success I think we had.
You
which
had.
lasted 1
Is
year.
it a real success or a sarcastic success?
No, it is. It
okay.
is.
Okay.
We convinced, do you remember, was it sophomore year, junior year? We convinced Brother Angelo to have a co-ed class trip with Lourdes.
Oh, the first and only.
The first and
Wait,
only.
when it's the first and only, it's not a success.
Well, I mean,
No, it was 100%
It was
a
a
success.
success for
And
the
if you
guys
don't
that
believe
were
it,
on that
I'll call
trip.
Matt Panzer right now. I'll call Matt Panzer right now. He'll tell you what a success it
It was
was.
so successful.
I remember
we never
going-
did it again.
I remember
Okay,
going to Brother
perfect.
Angelo's office, God rest his soul.
Yes.
Mr. Crossman said, there's no way you're going to, of all people, Brother
Of
Angelo,
all
there's no
people.
way you're going to
Yeah,
convince him to
no.
do this. I came back, I go, we're having a co-ed trip. He's like, what? We had the co-ed trip, lasted that one day.
It
and
was a glorious.
it was a
24
glorious
hours.
day for a bunch of people, and, we
the-
never did it
and
again.
this is another podcast, but Matt Panzer is the reason why we don't have that.
And we'll leave it at that.
Co-ed
And-
trip.
And we'll leave it at that.
Well,
So-
not having parent chaperones probably was also something we never did again either. So
There were no
didn't have
there was a
Chaperones?
chaperones.
Lord's
That one?
parent chaperone or two, which is where the
Well, that's probably-
But they're on
This
one
is-
bus, and all the
this-
students are on the
this-
other.
we were on separate buses on the way back. You may remember that. We were on the same bus on the way up,
Oh
and
my
Oh,
God!
it's
Is that
phenomenal.
the trip that you guys got to the bus late? You, Ms.
that was
Conde,
most of the
Brother
other ones. No,
Eladio?
quiet
That
down
was
over there.
all-
John, you had a
all
question for
right.
somebody else?
So Beach Bash. So yes, my recollection of all this is what they're saying. My only contribution to that dance, and I'll be honest, back then Lourdes, if I recall,
Yes.
is the one that really had the big dance of the year.
welcome back
Everybody
dance,
went
yeah.
to the Lourdes dance.
Okay.
And I just said, guys, whatever we do, we got to do it the week before Lords.
He didn't say it that way. What he said was, if we're going to throw a party, I want to destroy the other party, so we're going to have it first.
Did he use the verb destroy?
Yes.
Did he actually?
He said, I'm going to have the biggest party. No other party's going to make up to it.
Hear you now.
And that's why we switch it. He won't admit it.
My daughter's a freshman at Lords now. I have another one that's on her way over there. So let's. So yeah, I mean that was what I said, guys. We just need to do this.
Well, timing in
the
life
week-
is everything,
it's
of
everything.
course.
The week
yes.
before, which is what we did that year, which I think destroyed their dance.
It
I
did.
don't think
See, he
they've
said it
ever
again.
had
We
Destroyed.
eventually moved it to
He
compete.
did say
He said it
destroy
again.
that time.
We had to plan our dance around the Lord's schedule, but after I
did.
think your year,
Yeah, they've
we
switched
no
it to us.
longer they adjusted according to what we threw.
So, like all things Columbus, almost all things Columbus, it's done organically. No one really knows what's happening, and we'll try this, we'll add this, we'll subtract that.
100%.
Maybe this will work. Maybe we'll do this. Maybe we won't. What are you doing? I don't know, but here we go.
Here we go.
I don't think anybody thought it was going to be the success it was. That I mean, we went.
I knew it was gonna
from
be a
having
success.
50 people to I think we had close to 1,000 people.
1,000.
What
that
was
first Beach
the
Bash.
theme? Because Beach Bash now is, of course, what it is. What was the theme of the first Beach Bash? Do you guys remember?
Beach.
exactly?
Beach,
That's why we
But
call it
just, I
Beach
mean,
Bash.
but in
People
terms
came
of the
dressed.
Victor,
ambiance-
what's Victor's
the
last name?
ambiance.
Abelera.
Abeleras is the one that named Beach Bash.
Okay, so
he
Victor
named
gets
it.
credit for the name.
100%,
Okay.
because he said we can do it like a beach theme and we'll all
We
come and
brought
dress.
sand in, by the
Yeah,
way.
we brought
Was it that
sand.
first year we brought
I was in a
sand?
Hawaiian shirt and bathing suit. Everyone came dressed like if it was a beach.
We had beach balls.
Right.
We bought a whole
And we
mess of
called
those
it
beach
the
balls.
Oasis Beach Bash. It wasn't just Beach Bash.
Beach Bash at the Oasis.
At the Oasis, that's
right.
what it was.
Like
Because it used to be the
Midnight at
Cafe
the
Columbus.
Oasis or
So
whatever.
I guess
Okay.
Omar just admitted he did not come up with the name. Beach
I didn't come up with the name. I came up with the dance because can I say
You
my
do
piece?
whatever you want.
All right.
Please.
So I wasn't part of SAC. I was I played. Well, I was on the court
You were
when the basketball was
class
being
president.
You're
dribbled.
talking pre-senior year.
Before senior
Okay,
year, right?
Okay.
And my senior year, I run for class president, and I'm like, all right, look, well, I have some experience having fun, right? And here's where the origins of Beach Bash happened. For 3 years, and you probably had gone to some of these, Maurice Mumpoint, also known as the Roach,
Your boy.
my boy.
Yes.
Quinceañera
Okay.
Cruises.
Quinceañera Cruises, happy holidays, Mo. I'm giving you a shout out. The Roach had the Roach Productions, and the Roach Productions was me, Ricky Pellegrin, Jason Wood, Matt Panzer, all right, Bobby Bustamante, and we would throw parties at Maurice's house.
What could possibly go wrong
Everything.
with that group there?
Everything would go wrong.
Brother Angelo wasn't there. That was the good news.
No.
So we, after throwing these parties and getting the cops called on us at 12 o'clock every single time, Mo decided the last party his junior year, what we did was everyone knew that the party was on 82nd Court on Sunset. That's where Mo lived.
Okay.
But we told them that it was on 83rd, right? So everyone went to 83rd and they parked in this open parking lot. And they were like, where's the party? Did you go to that party?
Yeah, I think I was there.
And we hired Fred Vogel to drive a bus. And he would
my
drive people from the parking lot to Maurice's house and back.
Is that how you
I was
got
gonna
into
say,
the
Adrian
bus
was that
business?
AA Trips by any chance?
Perhaps.
Maybe that's how I got into 8 trips.
So we kept on, they would just do this nonstop. So
Shuttle service.
So it was a shuttle service. All the cars were a block away. And when you'd walk into this neighborhood, nothing was happening. So the cops came the first time. We walked in. We're like, oh, we're just having a get together, Mr. Officer. He's like, it doesn't look crazy. There's no cars here. We had like 700 people in the backyard, right? So the cop leaves. Party starts again. By the way, fun fact, Maurice's backdoor neighbor was Irene Como.
Oh my, oh my, oh my.
So there were things hidden in her backyard for this party that she never knew about.
God
okay?
bless her. Yes.
So it was like 1, 2 in the morning. The cops finally came out. I was like, you guys are being too loud. And Mo and I looked at each other and we're like, yeah, it's time to call it. All right, we're going to end the party. And then we just opened the floodgates and hundreds of kids started walking out. The cops were like, we need backup. And the kids were like, hey, where's the shuttle bus? We're like, no, it's a one-way trip. So we made her.
You can check out anytime you want.
So
you can never leave.
So everyone was like, that was a great party, man. But like whatever. Mo was like, I can't do this again. I'm gonna get arrested,
jail.
whatever.
Yes.
So Mo was like, we got to throw a party that we can't get shut down. So I'm in SAC and I look at Maurice and I go, I think we could throw a party the right way. Like, we just need a theme. Victor comes with the theme, the Beach Bash. I'm like, yeah, you got it. That's Beach Bash. Let's do it. And we started promoting, but there was one thing we had to do, which was we had to go back to Brother Angelo. And we were like, we can't have a party because we don't have the reputation. Girls are not going to come. We have to make this co-ed. And we went to Brother Angelo, and it was Adrian and I walking into the office. And we're like, we just need it 1 year to co-ed. If we throw this party, it will never have to be co-ed again. And he kind of looked at us, and he was like, yeah, kind of like the junior trip. We're like, no, nothing like that. This is going to be a legitimate organization, sir.
Mr. McKeon wasn't too happy with it.
No, he wasn't.
Like
So-
the Jew.
So he said, as long as you get everyone's either
ID.
driver's license or ID, every boy that comes in, they can come in.
When we did, was it Belen only or private school only? Did we
No,
limit
it
to
was
that?
everyone.
No. It was open. It was co-ed, open to everyone.
And the reason I know that is because of how I promoted it afterwards.
Oh, I heard those stories. Yeah.
So promotion time comes around, and everyone would make these little flyers for South Beach. So I was like, hey, I need money to make flyers, and I made like 2,000 flyers.
Don't ask how we got SAC money to do these.
Listen, it's fine.
Things
So-
just God
fine.
provides.
So they were like, where are we going to use these flyers for? And then Adrian's like, yeah, we got to give it to Lord's girls and St. Bernard girls. It's like, we don't got to give it to any of those girls. Those girls are going to come. We got to hit up all the public schools. So after school, me, Maurice, Jason, and Bobby, Ricky, and Matthew, we all picked a public school. It was Coral Park, it was Braddock, and Southwest. And we waited till school was over, and we just started driving by their school, and we went out the window, and we just launched a bunch of flyers into their field, and we just flyered their whole school. We got called in. We're like, it's a windy day, sir. We got
They
the box
flew
got
like the window was down.
the box got away from us.
The window. Oh, that's perfect.
But that's how we promoted it. No social
so
media, no
perfect.
text
I would go to
messages.
Mr. Crossman asking. He goes, I don't want to know. Just what do you need?
You know,
We would
plausible
get it.
deniability is so important.
We would get it. I would turn around, give it to Omar. Just I had nothing. You guys do what you
He
guys are
did
doing.
not. I'll tell you this. Adrian had no idea what we were doing. He could
Pontius
literally.
Pilate,
Yep.
man, just
So, you know, I didn't come up with the name, but we came up with the theme. We promoted it. Was it DJ Laz that we got as our DJ?
I don't know. It was DJ.
Or
Laz.
DJ Zog?
We had Zog
think it
for
was
a
Zog.
run,
Yeah.
but the first one I remember was maybe you're right. Laz was the first
I
one.
think it was Laz.
Yeah.
And-
But
and
if
then
not, Zog was there for 5 years and
we
running.
blew it up. And I remember when people were walking in, and I'm like, and then Crossman's there, and the teachers are like, we don't have enough teachers for this. Because it was just in the cafeteria. But it was 1,000 people in the cafeteria.
you're gonna need a bigger boat.
And everybody paying cash. Back then, there
Yeah.
wasn't.
Yeah.
There was
How do you
a lot-
know-
there
how
was
do
a
you
lot-
know?
There
How
was
do
a
you know
lot
that was
because I'm
cash?
the one that controlled the cash.
On that note, what were your expectations? What were you guys hoping for that night?
We knew it was going to be bigger than the prior dances. I did not think it was going to be 1,000 people.
Okay.
I thought it was going to be 600.
And I don't recall. I don't think there was that many guys. There were guys from other schools.
wasn't that many guys.
But it,
No,
was,
it was
but
very
it, but it
minimal.
wasn't as many as
Which helped
people were
us
concerned
because
about.
all the Columbus guys were like, this is the best thing ever. Like, we're outnumbered here 5-1, which,
Yeah, the ratio was insane.
yeah, it blew it up afterwards. It blew it up.
I think we only had like 10 teachers.
Yeah, it was.
There weren't
I
too
gotta
many.
check with Mr. Yu on that one.
There weren't too
He was the
many
accountant.
chaperones on the with
So
the first.
we were outmanned, outgunned,
Oh.
outmaneuvered,
Everything.
everything.
100 to
Yeah.
1.
Yeah. And what was the layout of the first beach bash? What,
in the
what-
cafeteria, the DJ was up on the.
It was
on
just
the
a DJ,
stage. There
some
wasn't
stands.
much.
We
didn't
I was
have a
up
lot
on
of lights. I
stage
think we
throwing
got
balls.
lights
There
later.
was
beach balls.
beach balls being thrown
Yeah.
around. There wasn't much.
We had a
going on.
confetti
did you
cannon, or was
keep
that
it-
later?
Because
Confetti
I don't
cannon.
remember. Did you keep it in the
Yeah,
cafeteria?
In the
we
cafeteria,
kept it in
yeah.
the cafeteria.
Okay.
I will tell you this.
Just
We
let it
threw the
slide.
first one, but I'm going to give props where props is due, okay? We did the first one. We're the founding fathers. The reason Beach Bash is the way it is because a gentleman named Ricky Garcia.
Oh, yes.
Ricky took
Class
that
of 02.
concept and turned it into what we now have an idea of what it is today.
Now, did you guys serve as the godfathers and give them
I got phone calls.
some advice, some
Yeah.
guidance, what to do?
We
or
still
what
give Ricky
not to
guidance.
do? Well, that's a
We
whole
still give
different.
Ricky
That's a
guidance.
whole different story. It's also the blind leading the blind, but be that as it may.
Fred
you know?
called me when I was a freshman in college. Ricky called me when I was a junior in college. Hey, what would you done here? I was like, yeah, I don't know. So I can't say some of the stuff I would have done because this is still a Columbus podcast, but
Yes.
you could understand.
Yes.
And Ricky blew it up. When I saw pictures of that, I was like, I'm so proud of you. And then when I came back as a teacher, and the first Beach Bash I went to, and it was 3 freaking rooms, the live rock concert outside, the whole gym was filled, the cafeteria was filled, and I was like, I walked around with a sense of pride. I was like, yes, this is the best.
How many beach bashes did you do as SAC moderator?
Well, we had it every year for 10 years when I was there.
Okay.
So it's starting in, well, not every year, sorry. Yeah, the first 2 years, so 8 years.
You did 8 years.
Yeah.
And then I took over for him.
Yeah, he was next to
So you went directly from, the teacher, the student, and here we go.
And then I did it for 7
yeah,
years.
I passed the baton like 07?
No, I believe I still have the record
6, 7?
for the largest for the largest beach bash.
Before you get into that,
Right.
when did we close it to public school guys or other schools? Did
1
that
year.
One
Yeah, I
year.
think it was
1
in
year.
second year.
2 year?
Yeah.
2 years?
No. In year two, it
Year
was,
two.
It was
I
just
got
Columbus,
you.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you remember how much we charged back then?
$5.
$5.
Yeah, we would print up little business cards. Those were our tickets.
Yep.
And
So
those
who
were-
handled the money?
Yeah, Adrian, who handled the money,
That
buddy?
first year, yeah.
Adrian,
Mr.
Adrian,
Crossman was busy making sure everything was.
Somebody had to
so
be the
we
adult
couldn't
in
have
the
that much
room.
cash.
There's
on
a
the-
reason
I
why he
defer to
became a
Adrian on
CPA.
that.
Just put it that way.
Yeah.
He's good with numbers.
We couldn't have all that cash on the floor.
No, we
So
could
every so
not.
often, I would take cash up to the SAC office, count it, put it away.
And then AA store tour started right after that, which is amazing.
We always set aside a little bit
for the
to
seed
go to La
money.
Carreta.
Seed
A
money.
rainy,
That-
Oh, yeah,
rainy
so there
day
you go.
You
fund,
should say that
Fund.
story.
No, we're not gonna say that
you know. So, all right.
The order,
Stop me say that story.
Gringos ordering food at Spanish restaurants.
Yeah, that always goes well,
Yeah.
doesn't it?
especially if it's spoiled.
Yeah.
He said something that my jaw dropped, and I went, he doesn't mean that. He doesn't mean that at all.
Oh, it's like one of those. Huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
A late night dinner. The follow up was the party. The after party was at La
The after
Carreta
party was
for
at La Carreta.
everybody.
Yeah.
Was there ever one that you really felt was going to reach critical mass and the school was going to be closed and sued?
When I was
Yes,
running
while
it,
you were
yes.
running
When
it.
me and Miss Insuo, who's now the dean of faculty, see, like, this is the key to success here. Columbus running SAC or doing something right, because Christina's probably the most reputable one out of all of us.
Okay.
By
How
far.
hard is that?
Yeah,
The
okay.
bars
Bar's
on the
low. Bar's
ground.
low, Omar.
So Christina and I would say it's around 06, 07. We had a concert in the middle of Beach Bash, and there was a band called Los Primeros with Andy Pita.
Primeros, that means like first.
The
right?
first,
Yeah,
yes.
okay.
And they were the guys that did the slow motion song, right? And when I tell you that we had to stop selling tickets. It was like 3,500 kids. And
Oh my
everybody
Lord.
wanted to be in the cafeteria. And I was on stage watching this, and I look at Christy, and I go, yeah, this is too many. We can't do this anymore. And she was like, just go with it. The administrators are happy. No one's going to get us in trouble.
What year was that, Omar?
Like around 2007, 2006.
3,500. That's incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
30, we maxed out at about 30, between 3 and 3,500, I
Yeah.
think. And that was with all three, because as we had the new gym and all that, and that was a chore just getting into that gym.
Exactly.
But
Yeah.
once we did that, because we had Battle of the Bands, was not when you guys were. Did you have Battle of the Bands when you guys were?
Yeah.
Yes.
We
You
had-
did?
yeah.
But it
So,
was, yeah.
I don't know if it worked the same way, but there was a period of time where the winner of the Battle of the Bands would come play at the next
Come say it,
Beach Bash. So that's
yeah,
when we'd have the
yeah,
outdoor
yeah,
concert.
yes.
And so that was kind of, and then we had
Yeah.
DJ. We had Battle of the Bands, Battle of DJs. The DJ would also be like a guest that would play out in the parking
Right,
lot. So we had
right.
like a parking lot room, the gym,
Yep.
and the cafeteria. And that's when we were maxing out probably about 32,
nuts.
3,500.
It was nuts.
That's crazy.
So you were completely understaffed for the first
Absolutely.
one.
Oh, by the way, I thought I was going to lose my job every year that I had it. So he thought it was his first year.
So did I. Yeah.
Yeah.
Listen, both of you are still worried about losing your job every year, so nothing's new.
Can't deny
you
that.
know? You were severely understaffed the first Beach Bash.
Yes.
Roughly how many faculty members are employed, hired to supervise a Beach Bash now?
I don't know now. We'd have
would
to
you
ask
say?
Melissa.
Today, that list is
65,
like, I would
70?
say easily, 50
Wow.
to 75 people.
Think
Easily.
about that.
What's the stipend these days?
That I don't know.
PTSD?
200?
I don't know.
Around 200, I think.
Two.
Really?
Maybe around there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. As a parent, you know, would you feel safe if you had a daughter sending your daughter to Beach Bash?
You're asking Omar or are you asking?
I'm asking him, and then I'm going to ask you. But what's your answer?
Oh, my God. Nowadays, yes.
Yeah.
100%.
Well,
Nowadays.
that was a huge hesitation.
Yeah,
Because
well,
obviously you were running things through your
Because
head.
He's
now,
recovering from 2006,
I saw the
2007.
cards flipping through your head. There.
Beach Bash now, yes. Kim and Melissa do an amazing job. Everything's under control. Yes. Now.
10 years ago, I'm not sure I would have been as comfortable as I was this year.
There's two X chromosomes in
Dropping
charge
off.
there. It's
Dropping off Emma at
more
Beach
sedated.
Bash.
Yeah.
The look on his face was.
Well, because he's going back to all the years.
Oh
that
yeah, he's running through the memory
he's-
Rolodex
During
there.
Beach Bash, he would take videos, send me videos. This is going back,
Yeah,
you know,
when I
a
was
few
running it.
years.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't want my daughters going to this. But it's gotten, it's
a lot better.
It's a lot better.
We have
now.
food
It's,
trucks now.
you know what it is.
Well, that makes it good.
Yeah,
Well,
ice cream food trucks. Come on.
It is classic Columbus controlled chaos. You know.
Now, yes.
And it's like one of those chain reactions in science. It just starts to run, and you just let it go and hope it doesn't. You know, we don't end up, you know, with Hiroshima.
Right. Large Hadron Collider.
Yes. Yeah. As looking back, your tenure as the head of SAC, what are you most proud of Beach Bash, or is it something else?
No, I thought that.
Not getting fired.
Yeah, surviving is definitely
You
an
know,
accomplishment.
survival is it begins and ends right there.
Because there's homecoming stories we can't really tell.
That's
either.
a good one.
We survived that. Actually, yeah, that one's pretty
I think
PG-13.
Nobody fell off the
Epic.
truck.
Epic.
I have some great homecoming stories.
But there's some. I think this. Whenever you have a
Yeah.
large number of kids, and I think I told this to Adrian, because you know I'm telling him the ropes. He's the first guy that learned about stipends. We're trying to charge for buses. You know, he's doing the math for AA trips, and he's like, "Why are we charging so much for this extra thing?" I'm like, "Because teachers don't pay." And he's like, "Oh." So he's always doing the math. So I'd have these moments where I told him, "Listen, this is the behind the scenes part that kids usually don't know, but this guy was 17 going on 40." And I said, "Let me tell you about Mr. McKeon's job. Do you remember what I told you? What his job is to do? It's to say one word.
Which was?
To sack.
No.
No, right. His answer was to say no to everything. And I said, you just got to understand his position. I go, if nothing happens and nobody has any fun, nobody gets hurt, nobody gets sued, and all the things that come down from there. I said, so if we just don't allow these things to happen, everybody's job gets easy. And of course, our job is to push that no. And these guys did a hell of a job doing that, by the way.
Yes, we did.
So I'm actually proud that we had not just these but then we had support. I'll show an example of Brother Patrick McNamara, when he was president, principal. Brother Kevin was president. That was our first, establishment of that hierarchy. We had a party. Brother Pat understanding social gatherings, and maybe Brother Kevin not so much. We had a moment where he didn't like what he was seeing in the gymnasium because it was very dark. And Brother's like, this, we can't have this. And so he instantly flipped on all the lights, right? And there's 500 heads in this room. And of course, what are going to happen when a bunch of kids have the lights turned on, right? They scatter. And where are they going? They're going to the cafeteria.
Cockroaches, yes, yes.
So we get this mass. And I think at that point, we had to really re-landscape the entire front of the cafeteria because it just looked like some alien came in and did those crop circles, mowed everything down. And it was just the kids trying to get in. I remember Harry Saavedra, getting, trampled, trying to keep these kids out. So I told Brother Pat, because I said, Kevin, I didn't know how to speak to Brother Kevin. I'm still scared of Brother. So I told Pat, I said, we can't have this. And Pat went right to Brother. I said, Brother, we can't. Went over, shut the lights off. Things resume back to normal. Just understand, you have to understand the dynamics, but you have to have people around you that support you in your endeavors.
Right.
And say, we want this to be a fun, safe event, but it's an experience.
We're not talking at all about the spinoff of Beach Bash.
Oh.
Yeah.
But that's a
Sweet
one-off,
Dreams.
too.
No, it wasn't.
Two?
Sweet Dreams, I ran for 3 years.
Okay.
And then Brother Pat said, you're doing a great job. I think kids showing up to school in pajamas might not be the best thing for a Catholic school. I said, you're right.
Yeah, that was the spring dance follow-up.
Yes, and we would have 1,000-something, 2,000 kids too. We switched the name, Christy and I, because we were like, we have to have the second dance. It's like, it's a tradition. Yeah. So we turned it, and it just became a one-off, the white party.
Oh, the white
which
party.
in Cuban culture, Cubans didn't like a bunch of people dressed in white showing up because we were called Santeros.
So you're going to take credit for that one, or you're going to blame that one on Adrian?
No, I'm going to take, I'll take it.
We actually tried a second dance our senior year.
I don't remember.
Did you have the boogie nights?
January.
Did you do boogie nights?
I remember we tried to do a dance after Beach Bash because I remember standing out there with Mr. McKeon just
it didn't work.
telling me how dumb of an idea
this was.
What
was the theme, though?
I think it was Boogie Nights. It was like a 70s theme.
Okay, when was
dance.
John Barquette my president? What year was he?
John Barquette was...
That's 99.
Yeah.
So the following year we did have a successful
John
one.
Barquette was your president, and Fred Vogel was a senior class president.
Yeah, these guys, they ended up throwing that one, and we did, instead of the beach balls, it was kind of, we bit off some of your stuff. We had those smiley faces, the 70s smiley faces. We had the disco globe. The guys did a YMCA dance routine.
Yeah.
And everybody came in bell bottoms and stuff. It was actually a pretty good party, but it was So you guys tried it. I
We
think
tried
it worked
something
the
in
next year.
January, I think.
It didn't work, yeah.
And it did not work at all.
Okay.
Yeah.
It did not work at all.
You
But
know,
we still,
Spirit dies after
listening
January.
to this is a classic example of Columbus managing to fall somewhere between Valhalla decadence and good, clean fun.
Yep.
You know, and there's that
It works.
magical combination of a little bit of both elements, and it works. It's amazing.
It's phenomenal.
It worked. Still working.
So that the homecoming story you're talking about is that huge banner we did?
That's one of them. Yeah, that's the.
to the game,
Yeah. Do you remember that?
I was driving the car.
So you were the one
Wait,
driving
who's
the-
driving?
Yeah.
No,
I was driving.
I was in the back then holding the.
I was in
thing.
the back.
You
Yeah,
both
we-
were in the back.
Yeah.
So we
Why the
built-
hell would you drive? And I'm
So
in the
we
back?
built this huge. It was like 20 by 30 feet PVC.
Esposito put this
Esposito
together
helped
for
us.
us. Espo.
But we built it in Columbus.
That's the right
So
guy.
we built it here, and day
Epoxied
of,
it together.
Day
not
of-
knowing
Game
we
is
had to
at
take it apart.
Tropical.
I'm looking at this thing,
Dumbest
and I'm like,
idea.
Mr. Crossman, how are we going to get
What
this
are we
over to
gonna
Tropical? Like, and we just looked around, and that blue little mini truck that was
pickup,
Oh, it's
yeah,
Hefe's
yeah.
truck,
pickup.
wasn't it?
It was a Hefe's truck.
Yeah, yeah.
So we
Hefe.
so we
Hefe.
borrowed a Hefe's
Rest in
truck.
peace.
We put this thing in the back. We go down 32nd. We're literally, I mean, the thing is almost hitting the lights.
The lights.
Yeah.
Yep.
This is
And
tall.
we made it all the way to Tropical Park. I'm not sure how. I think you were driving.
There was a break in there too. Should we mention?
Let's say Omar was driving to not. We cross Bird. We take the thing down, and I remember you're like, we're not taking this back. We'll use it and we'll take it apart.
Abandoned in place.
Yeah, but that was.
Yeah, we hired a graffiti artist every year to do our big burner in the
Yep.
background for the
For
court.
homecoming.
Yeah.
I think I actually
literally
still have
hanging
it.
off like this.
You have
Just
the
hold it up
tarp?
and be
I think I
like-
have the
Again,
tarp,
what
yeah.
could possibly go wrong? You know, I was sitting here watching you two, you know, talking about finances, and it is amazing how this school evolves. Where now he's board chair,
Yeah.
and you're a faculty contract
We
rep.
fight over like
I
salaries
was
now.
going to ask
Yeah.
about that. How does that go? Do you ever find yourself at sometimes reminding yourself, this guy used to be, he was in my class, he was SAC, everything else, and now we're talking about money together. You know, that's an interesting dynamic, isn't it?
Yeah, it's interesting to note when Adrian shifts from Mr. Crossman to Keith. You know, so when you have the switch,
see.
I know what kind of mode I'm in now. Am I getting talked to?
That's not true.
No, it's not.
100%. You do that. You do that.
I'm not sure he's aware of it, but I don't know if it means anything. No, Adrian knows he's.
I don't think it's a negotiation.
No,
It's
no, no.
Two parties sitting down and
Yep.
figuring out what's best for the faculty within the means of the school.
Yeah.
And I think we've done.
No, we work
we've done
well.
a
We work
good
really
job
well
the last
together.
two-
I think there's
No,
nobody else I'd rather
you
work
guys
with.
do.
I mean,
Yeah.
And I do credit a lot of that to the fact you did work together
Sure.
outside of a classroom situation where you're putting on events, you're spending money, there's logistics involved, and that's good life experience right there. And it's just ironic that it's come around to what it is today.
Yeah. It's definitely nothing like what it used to be.
Yeah.
It was Tom Harold, I think, was telling us a story that when he did it, I'm going back.
That's a long time
I think Coach
ago,
Lavelle
yeah.
was on the committee.
Yeah, yeah,
And
a
he
little
said
bit.
there was a meeting that Coach Lavelle chest bumped him. Like they were.
I can
That
totally
was-
see
yeah.
that. Yeah.
I don't
And
think
Tom just
anybody's.
got up and I'm like, oh no, we don't have those issues. These
Some good
days.
times.
No.
We have good discussions.
I'm too
we
short
have-
anyway, so.
Yeah. But it's a fun process. It was intimidating at first, sitting across, people that were.
Well,
your-
you know, Adrian, to your point, because this school is so intertwined and incestuous, we end up, you start off as a student, you become a teacher, you become this, you become that, and then you end up interacting in different ways at different levels. And it's just amazing how those dynamics work out. It astonishes me sometimes how we do it. And, the fact we understand each other.
It's Columbus.
Kind of speak, Columbus, if you will. It's to our advantage. It really is. And so it's just an interesting sidebar there,
It works. I remember the first time that I led it, Keith and I would have discussion. You came over to my house, we got a drink. What do you guys? We just really try to work together.
Yeah,
and-
it was an
and-
honest discussion.
Well, look, to be fair, this guy's been a teacher since he was going to school here. I
That's
remember
true.
Adrian would show up down the hallway and he'd knock on the door and just pull kids out of class, and the teacher wouldn't ask any questions
Pull me out of
whatsoever.
class all the time.
So this
All
guy
the
knows what it's
time.
like to be a
Adrian's at the
teacher. He
door.
knows
It's
what it's like to
gotta be
run the
important,
buses.
you know?
Only one person didn't listen to him, Como. He could never pull me out of Como's class. Everyone else, I
She's
was
still
like, not a-
salty about the Mom Point parties. That's
Yeah,
what that was.
No,
Yeah.
it was the organizing prom with us was a challenge.
Yes,
Oh,
yes, it was because
we were
we
fighting over the color
The colors.
napkins. These guys wanted black napkins.
I didn't know. I was with you. It was Maurice, Jason,
guys would
and
not-
Bobby wanted purple and yellow as the colors for the prom.
Purple and yellow. What
like,
the
what?
hell's wrong with them?
Yeah, man. So I was like, we're not doing that, guys. Like, I'm sorry. He's like, we got to make it, like, fun, different. And I'm like, all right,
Well,
I know
what's
what you
fun
guys are
about
doing.
purple and yellow?
It was the 90s, man.
Blue it was.
It was 90s.
Come on, man.
LSU or something.
Come on. We're lucky we've got red these days, you know?
Yeah,
that was a
took a couple
battle
years
right
in the making.
there.
That was
you
a
know?
battle right there.
Yeah. So on a completely different topic, because I'm looking at Adrian and Mr. Crossman, now I'm looking at you and Mr. Crossman, and this is good, healthy, fun dialogue. You know, AI in our curriculum.
Oh, yeah.
Let's face it, it's here to stay.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's not going anywhere.
Right.
You know, and change is inevitable. It's not always pleasant. It's not always fun, but it's going to happen. So here we are dealing with AI, and people at this place, it's a trait. You've been here long enough, you don't want to change because you're set in your ways.
Right.
Particularly, it also comes with age. You know, and people have traditionally been reluctant to change.
Right.
And I'll tell you the truth. When we made that quantum leap to smart boards, I was one of those idiots saying, I don't need a smart board. I got my chalkboard and chalk. I'm good. And it took me about 30 seconds to realize you're an idiot. You know, you just got
Right.
twice as effective as an educator because I didn't need picture day anymore holding
I
up
do miss
books.
that, though.
That was so much
was so much fun.
Gathering around
Yeah.
with Mr. Rogers. Look at
Good
Mr.
times.
Water Buffalo. Yes.
Good times.
So anyway, honest feelings about AI for a minute.
You mind if I go first?
Do, please.
All right. So, 23 years here. I know the landscape, okay? I'm obviously a huge tech nerd. I love it. I embrace it. I dive deep in it. But what I've come to the conclusion is everyone learns at their own pace.
Yeah.
And everyone has the right, which makes Columbus, I think, the most special place on earth. We don't judge you for what you're not willing to do. We're judging you for what you're willing to try. And we all try at different areas and different times. As long as people at least, they don't shun the whole idea, I'll
Well,
sit
you're
there.
always going to have the shunners.
Yeah, well, you know.
But you know what? The shunners even eventually come around.
They come around. It's come around. I think this is a piece of technology, and I know Keith and I don't see eye to eye on a lot of this, but I do know that he's doing what he thinks is best for Columbus. I do what I think is best for Columbus, and we're going to meet somewhere in the middle that it's going to be beneficial for both of us, and it's going to help, I think, Columbus stay in
well,
the
we've
top
got
of its
no
field.
choice.
Yeah.
Because it's not going away. And
Well,
I'll
to your-
listen. Go ahead.
Yeah,
go
no, to
ahead.
your point earlier, you know, this idea that we know each other and we
Right.
know who's got their heart out for Columbus. Like, we're not competitive in that kind of sense. Like you said, when we're talking about finance and salaries, we're not looking at what am I going to get out of this. We're always looking at what's going to be best for the guys, what's going to be best for school.
Serving the greater good.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So, and then to an earlier point, you know, talking about Adrian being my former student, I mean, here you have a former student bringing this information
Right.
to his former teachers. And so that dynamic of how do you
Very
keep
difficult.
the diplomacy, he knows firsthand how challenging
It's
it is
so
as a
hard.
department leader. It's
Oh,
tough.
It
So
is.
it's not an easy sell for him, and his job is already harder than it should be. But because we all know we come from the right place, I think it helps.
Yeah.
You know,
It's the hardest part of my job.
Absolutely.
I like
Teaching,
that.
teaching my former teachers how to do this is
Yeah.
not, it's not easy, but
well, you know, that's how we evolve. And
Right.
one day,
Someone's gonna teach me.
Your former teacher is you're gonna be the old dude on the receiving end, and that's just it's the circle of life
Of
at
course.
Columbus High School. You know, that's
Yeah.
how it goes. Go ahead, yeah.
No, I mean, talking about AI and technology, from the board's perspective, I can
Yeah,
tell you that,
okay.
that we strongly feel that we want to be in the forefront of AI and technology from an education standpoint. What that looks like, you got to leave it up to Omar.
Well, I will tell
and
you,
Mr.
and I know
Crossman
this.
and Dave Pugh and those individuals. But in my own profession, right, in
I was
the
going to
CPA
ask you
world,
about that. Yeah.
I mean, technology and AI is changing everything that we're doing, and to think that it's not going to change the way we teach kids, I think it's wrong. I think
Well, that's hiding under
We
a
got to
rock.
embrace it, right? And it's not to say that it's for everyone, and like I tell my employees and my staff,
Yeah.
is we're going to be left with just having relationships with our clients. And that personal touch, I don't think AI is ever going to be able to replace.
Never.
So you're never going to be able to replace the teacher in the classroom. But I think you can leverage AI, and I think teachers should move towards embracing it however they can
Right.
and incorporating it into the day-to-day.
So I become a voice for the AI educational technology around the country.
Yeah.
Like I'm traveling at least once or twice a month to a different city talking about it.
Yeah.
Columbus, without a shadow of doubt, and I could say this unequivocally, like we are the best at it in Miami-Dade County. Because the way I think is I know how fast, if we just hit the brakes a little bit, how fast everything could pass us.
Sure.
So from my perspective, it's an comfortableness that I have, right? Like,
Sure.
I know we're doing great, and
Yeah.
every single time I talk to people in other places, they're like, "You're doing that?" I'm like, "Yeah, that's amazing." But I also know the second we stop trying to be in the forefront of it, we'll be left in the
Well,
dust.
it's like a shark. Shark stops swimming and
He's dead.
dies.
Yep. Exactly.
And, you know, to get where we're at in all aspects of this school, that's one thing.
Yeah.
Riding the crest and maintaining the crest, that's the real ultimate challenge. And,
Yeah.
and you know, the way I look at AI, it's just the latest thing. When I was in school, we had encyclopedias, but that was the latest thing.
Right.
Because my grandparents didn't have encyclopedias. And then, you know, from black and white TV to color, you can start naming the ways we've evolved.
Right.
From Betamax to VHS to DVD. I can keep going. This is, if people would take that mindset and recognize that this is inevitable, it's going to change, and one day, you know, it'll be second nature. Whatever that second nature is going to be, we'll be fine.
But
Yes.
to Omar's point,
Yeah.
the only difference with this change is it's happening so quickly.
Well, yeah.
That if you're not on top of it, and
Yeah.
and if you hit the brakes for a little bit,
No,
you're done.
that
You're done.
is
And the
absolutely true.
competitive landscape in Miami, I think at the high school level or schools in general, I think is going to change here relatively quickly with a lot of charter schools moving in.
I know what's happening. Yeah.
Charter schools moving in from
Charter
New York.
schools.
Existing charter schools expanding.
Yes,
So
there's
it's something that we
Two
really
main
have to
competitions that
concentrate
are
on.
happening right now. Academical schools are all incorporating a 2-hour mindset.
Okay.
That deal's done.
All right.
And then we have AI schools that are just opening up, where just kids are walking in there and being taught by AI, which is
Okay.
crazy. But you know what they don't have?
Our teachers.
They don't have Beach Bash,
You know what?
and they never will.
So
In-
true.
into the great wide open. That's where we're headed,
right.
and we'll get there. But this was a classic Columbus conversation because we went from talking about the absolute lunacy
How we get on AI?
of
Yeah,
Beach Bash and
Yeah.
ending on AI.
Yeah, that's nuts.
And the tone never changed, you know, and that's what is great about this school. That's what's great about the people that go to this school,
Absolutely.
that work at this school, that represent this school. That's who we are, bro.
The
Go
one
ahead,
thing
Adrian.
we have that nobody has is you guys, the faculty that's dedicated to the students. Every day that I help Columbus, I'm impressed by how dedicated everybody here is. Their heart is in the right place, and you see it in the students, you know, when they graduate here, what they do, and when they come back. So we do have that competitive edge across any school in the country, in my opinion.
And we saw that in Giving Day the
Yep.
other day. I mean, absolutely true. And we have a board, and not blowing smoke. We have a board that's a working board.
Yeah.
And not just, oh, I'm on the board, you know, I can put it on my credentials. No, you guys work, and you work. You spend more time working on Columbus than you
you got to
do-
stop saying that, John.
Go-
Someone in my firm's going to call me on Monday and be like, "What?
I
I've
think
I've
you're-
heard this twice
I
in a
think
week."
you're- I
Hours,
think
man.
you're okay there. Huh?
No, I was going to say, you can billable hours from Columbus here.
Anyway, we didn't have any idea how this was going to
No.
go, and as usual, it ended up fantastic. A
great.
lot of fun.
Yeah,
and
good time.
and what is the greatest common denominator at Columbus High School? Laughter.
the best.
It's what we do, you know.
Definitely.
We enjoy each other's
Good times.
company,
Yes.
and we
100%.
Buenos tiempos, brother.
Buenos tiempos.
I was doing it for the gringos. I was translating. Right. Eka la careta, you got to say it the right way.
Oh, Jesus. What are we doing? What? I was going to say, you know what? I think we're just going to.
Is there a B-roll of this,
we're
this
just
podcast?
going to end on that one. Mr. Crossman, you get the last word. Oh my God! Listen, Columbus, this was a different one. This was a fun one. I truly enjoyed it. Omar Delgado, Adrian Alfonso, Keith Crossman, thank you very much. So until next time, Explorer Nation, buenos tiempos, and adelante.